Okay guys, welcome to my tutorial. This stitch is easy. All you have to do is begin by making a chain that is divided by 3. I'm going to do 15 for this tutorial. And then once you made your chain that is divided by 3, you add 4 extra chains. So all up, I made 19 chains in this tutorial. The reason you add the 4 extra chains is for edging. So you need extra to turn. So you're going to now turn and do a double crochet in the 3rd chain from hook. And then you're going to do a double crochet in every chain to end. And it's a good idea to count your double crochet at the end and make sure it's divided by 3. So if you made a mistake, you can fix it up. So in this example, you're going to end up with 18 double crochets all up in the first row. So I'm just counting and making sure I got all of my double crochets. And when I'm satisfied, I'm going to continue on row 2. So you begin by chaining 2. Some will say chain 3, but I'm just going to chain 2. You can chain 3 as well. It's the first double crochet. And then you're going to do a front post double crochet in the first double crochet. And as you can see, it goes around it and pushes it forward. That's why it's called front post. And then I'm going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. And that's just to get the edging right. Now we're going to follow a pattern that's repeated to the end. That is 2 front post double crochet and 1 double crochet. So we start with making a front double crochet in the next 2 double crochet, and as you can see, it pushes the stitch forward. You sort of go behind it and push it forward, and then just a regular double crochet, and you're going to repeat this pattern all the way to the end, and it creates the pattern of actually pulling. So when you turn it, you actually see the pattern in the next row, because then you see that some stitches has been pulled backwards. You're pulling them forward, but this is the wrong side we're crocheting now. The right side is actually row 3. Then you will see that these stitches have actually been pulled backwards, and it looks like they have a frame around them, just like a waffle stitch. So it looks really, really cool. So you just continue this pattern all the way to the end. And remember, when we get to the end, you actually have a turning chain. And the turning chain, which is right at the beginning when you turn to put the DC in the 3rd chain from hook, that turning chain is classed as a stitch as well. So you are gonna crochet in that stitch as well. As you can see, we're coming up to the end now. So I'm doing my last front double crochet stitch, and now I'm doing a regular double crochet in the turning chain, and later on that turning chain now at the end is going to just be a chain 2 or a chain 3 if you prefer, but it's the same principle. They are classed as a stitch as well. And as you can see, we've started now to make the pattern, and now we're going to do row 3, and after we finish row 3 we're going to repeat 2 and 3 until you have the desired length of your work. So chain 2, and now you're going to do a double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. And now you're doing a front post double crochet, and you're going to repeat this 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches and 1 front post double crochet in the next stitch. You repeat that all the way to the end. And you end up with 2 double crochets in the last 2 stitches. And now you're gonna turn and chain 2 again, and you're gonna do row 2. So the first stitch is always chain 2, and in some patterns it does say chain 3. It's up to you which one you use, but this is the first double crochet. And now you're going to do a front post in the first stitch, and that's just to get the border correct, so it will look funny. And then you do a double crochet in the next one, and then you're going to repeat the same pattern again and again until you're at the end of the row. So it's really simple. So now it's the same now. It is, it's going to be 2 front post double crochet and in the next 2 stitches and 1 double crochet in the next stitch all the way to the end. And you're going to end with a double crochet in the chain 2 from the previous row. And remember, when you're crocheting row 2, you're at the back of the work, so you won't see how the pattern is actually going to look. But when you turn it over and you do a row 3, you really see what you are creating. So row 3 shows you the front of the work, so it's really exciting. And I'm speeding up this video so you get to the end, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like then when it's turned over. Basically it's going to look very, very cool. As long as you can remember to follow the pattern. It's easy sometimes to, you make a mistake, but just check your work as you're going, and you won't make a mistake. You won't have to, undo anything. So now I'm just doing a double crochet in the chain 2 to finish off that row. I'm going to turn, and then you will see what the work basically will look like. As you can see now, you can see the waffle stitch that's being created. It's really pretty. And I'm going to show you how I make Barbie boots out of this waffle stitch. That's a pattern that's free on my Patreon, so go and check it out. And you get the whole pattern for free, and also I'm going to make a video tutorial as well. So now chain 2, and it's a double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then you're going to do a front double crochet in the next stitch, and you just repeat this pattern. So now I'm doing my front double crochet. You see how I do it? It's very easy. Just basically go behind the stitch that will move the stitch forward, and then you crochet a double crochet as usual. And getting to the end now, just repeating the same pattern all the way to the end. You can see I am basically just following the pattern, and it's creating this beautiful waffle stitch. So I'm finishing off with a double crochet in the last 2 stitches. So the longer you kind of make this, the better it becomes, as you really can see. Like, this is a perfect one for a blanket, really, when you think about it, or a scarf or a headband, or it just looks so good. And I also use this stitch to make Barbie boots. So I finished one and I video tutorial the second one, and she ended up looking really, really cool, and that is up on my Patreon. So go and get the pattern. I'm going to edit the video tutorial as soon as I finish editing this one. I'm really happy with Barbie, how she ended up looking. You can get the full costume on Crochet Artisan and on my What Not to Do Patreon page, basically. I really hope you will learn this waffle stitch and use it in many different cool ways. And don't be afraid to basically experiment with your crochet work and be creative and have fun with it. That is the whole purpose of crochet. So until next time, have fun crocheting. Bye!